Hi everyone, this is Mrs. Snowbeck. Today we are going to review Unit 4 and get ready for the quiz. So like all the reviews, I'm going to have you pause the video and then try these two questions, and when you're done, unpause the video and I'll work through it. Find the sum of the interior angles of a 15 gon. So remember, the formula for this is n minus 2 times 180. So in this case, we're going to do 15 minus 2. N stands for the number of sides, and 15 minus 2 is 13. And then you type that in your calculator, and that is 2,340 degrees. So that's what all the angles inside of a 15 gon add up to. Number 2, find the measure of each interior angle of a 15 gon. This time we have to figure out how big is each angle. Well, we know altogether they add up to 2,340, and there's 15 of them. So divide by 15. I type that in my calculator, and it is 156 degrees. So each of the angles is 156. Number 3, before you try these, I'm going to give you a quick review. There's 5 ways to tell if a quadrilateral is a parallelogram. The first way is if you have opposite sides parallel. So 2 pairs of parallel sides. The second way is if you have opposite sides congruent. If you were given a picture like that, that would be enough to know that it is a parallelogram. The third way is if opposite angles are congruent. So the angles across from each other, if they're the same size, it's a parallelogram. The fourth way is if the diagonals, these things that I just drew in, if they cut each other in half, if they bisect each other. If that is given, then that is enough to know that it's a parallelogram. And the last way is if you have one pair of sides that is both parallel and congruent on the same pair of sides. If any of these 5 things happen, then you say, yes, it's a parallelogram. So go ahead, and what do you think about number 3? If you're thinking number 3 kind of looks like this one, where the diagonals bisect each other, you're right. So yes, you can determine it's a parallelogram because the diagonals bisect each other. Go ahead, try number 4. If you're thinking yes, because there's one pair of sides that's both parallel and congruent, kind of like this one, where they were parallel and congruent on the same set, then you are correct. Please pause the video, try number 5. If you're thinking yes, because opposite angles are congruent, because we have something where these 2 are the same, and then these 2 are the same. Opposite angles are congruent, you are correct. Please try number 6. If you're thinking yes, because opposite sides are congruent, then you are correct. Please pause the video, try number 7. So first, I'm going to highlight angle MAT. MAT is up here. This is the angle we're trying to find. And right now, I can see down here, this angle is 25 plus 50. So if I add 25 plus 50, I get 75. So this angle down here is really 75 degrees total. Now remember, if we have an isosceles trapezoid, congruent or non-base angles like angle A and angle M, those should add up to 180 because they're between parallel lines, and this is like a transversal. So they're kind of like consecutive interiors, if you remember those. And they should add up to 180. So what I do is I just do 180 and I take away the 75, and I have 105 left. So up here must be 105. So 105 is the measure of angle MAT. Now, just for your information, down here this is also 75, and up here this is also 105. If it is an isosceles trapezoid. The 2 sets of base angles are congruent. So the bottom 2 here are both the same and the top 2 here are both the same. Please pause the video and try number 8. So number 8, you're working with a rectangle. It says it right here. And one of the things I know about a rectangle is the diagonals are congruent. So ZX is here and WY is here. And those are the two that we're working with. And so what I'm going to do is make a little equation. And I'm going to say 6x minus 4 equals 4x plus 14. And then I'm going to solve it. So I do my algebra. I'm going to get the x's on the same side. So I get 2x minus 4 equals 14. Add 4. 2x equals 18. Divide by 2. And x is 9. But we are not done. Read the question carefully. It says find zx. So we have to plug this back in right there. So zx is going to equal 6 times 9 minus 4. Well, 6 times 9 is 54, so it's really 54 minus 4, which is 50. So 50 is your answer. Please try numbers 9 and 10, and when you're done, unpause the video. So number 9, this is a rhombus. And the way that I know it's a rhombus is because all 4 sides are congruent. This marking, this marking, this marking, and this marking are all the same, and that means those 4 sides are all the same length. And so if j to k is 5, like in number 10, then j to m also has to be 5. They all do. So 5 is your answer for number 10. Please pause the video and try number 11. So it says this figure is a parallelogram, and one thing we know about parallelograms is opposite angles are congruent. So 2x plus 15 should equal the angle across from it, which is 55. They should be the same size. Consecutive angles right in a row add up to 180, but angles across from each other are equal. So I'm going to minus the 15. I get 2x equals 40. Divide by 2. X equals 20. And I think we're done because it just says solve for x, so we don't have to plug it back in. Please pause the video and try number 12. So we have to solve for 2 things, x and y. I see 9x over here on the right side. It's going to be equal to or congruent to the 36, because if this is a parallelogram, opposite sides are equal. And so 9x will equal the 36. Divide by 9. 36 divided by 9 is 4. So x is 4. Now it's sort of difficult to tell what's happening here, but the 3y minus 7 is this yellow line, this yellow segment, and the y plus 15 is this green one. And so in a parallelogram, diagonals bisect each other, so this and this should be the same length. So 3y minus 7 should equal y plus 15, because this diagonal cuts the other one in half into equal parts. Subtract your y, add your 7, divide by 2, and y equals 11. This is our last slide, so go ahead and pause the video and try numbers 13 and 14. If you're thinking what type of quadrilateral is this, it is a kite. It has 2 pairs of consecutive congruent sides. So I can see up here, these 2 sides are the same, and then I can see down here, these 2 sides are the same because of the tick marks that they have on them. Now part 14 wants us to find x. One thing I know about quadrilaterals is the angles add up to 360. Now if you forget that, remember it has 4 sides, and 4 minus 2 times 180 is 2 times 180, which is 360. So that's what the 4 corners add up to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 360 and I'm going to subtract the 114 and the 48. I'm going to subtract those both away from 360. So I'll type that in quick. I'm using my calculator too, and I get 198, and then that means I have 198 degrees left, and I have this angle here and this angle here. Now those two angles in a kite will be congruent. And so if I take my 198 and just divide it in half, you're going to get a nice number, 99. And so that means 99 degrees goes here and 99 degrees goes here. So x is 99. So I first want to give a little shout out to Mr. Getchell because he taught me that if I use headphones that have a microphone on them, that you don't hear my pencil clicking as much in the video. So hopefully that worked. Cool, Mr. Getchell, good tip. Also, what you're going to work on next is the review for Unit 4, and then soon you'll be taking the quiz for Unit 4. So find worksheet Unit 4 review. If you get stuck, please just send me a Schoology message. Have a great day.